Do I need to make an opening statement? This is very formal. We were just outside running around. Listen, thankful and honored that you came here today. It's been a great day with the announcement of the Athletic Performance Center and all the exciting news that came out of Rutgers athletics today. And I'm just honored. I'm still 6 months now on the job. I love being the head coach here. This is a great place with good people, and we're going to try to have a great season here. With our basketball team, you guys will get a chance to see us play. They've been working hard and trying to change the culture in a lot of ways, and it's been an exciting time, and I've embraced all the challenges that go with building a program in the best league, both academic and basketball league in the country. So that's my opening statement. You all right with that, Jerry?
I'm all right with it.
Thanks.
Jerry Carino from Gannett, New Jersey. Steve, we've talked about in the preseason about leadership. You're 10 days out from the first game. Who is stepping up, or is that happening yet in terms of leaders emerging for your team?
You know, I think we have a few guys that have stepped up, and DeSean Freeman probably being the one that kind of jumps off the page a little bit right now, and I think we're getting good leadership too from CJ, our fifth-year senior out of UNC Wilmington. And, you know, other guys are emerging too in that role, but I think they're figuring it out a little bit, like how hard we have to work and the demands that I have on them in practice and during the course of the week. And those two guys have probably jumped off the page a little bit in that area. So looking for more in the leadership area for sure.
Coach Aaron Brightman on thebanks.com. I was wondering, about a month into practice now, the biggest area they've improved on since the beginning of preseason?
You know, honestly, I think we had the longest way to go to in this area. So thankfully, rebounding, I think we've done a pretty good job in attacking, you know, that problem. You know, we're bigger size-wise, and actually health-wise, we're in a lot better shape. I think last year at this time, we probably had 9 bodies at practice. So one more than that, obviously, today. Everyone's been healthy for the most part. But just really trying to get them to grind a little bit and be tougher. You know, that's been one of my biggest challenges. But the rebounding area I've been pleased with, especially the offensive end. And I always say there's good news to offensive rebounding. You know, you get a second chance. The bad news is you're missing a lot of the first chances. So I hope someday we can solve that problem too, so we don't have to be the best offensive rebounding team in the country.
Steve, Keith Sargent, NJ.com. If you had to start a game today, what would be your starting 5? And then just from a rotation standpoint, you know, how deep do you want to go?
You know what? I'm really trying to, with this group, try to get them to earn, you know, playing time. That's been kind of hard too, because I think in the past, if you were healthy, you kind of played. And I don't know if they ever were based on, you know, like earning their playing time. So practices, I've tried to make them really competitive. Like, I want them to earn. I want someone to earn being a captain. I want someone to earn their minutes. I want someone to earn starting lineup. You know, so every day I put them in positions to kind of do that. DeSean, I tell him all the time, I'm going to start the best rebounder and the best defender. And I can tell you, DeSean is by far our best rebounder. So, you know, he's earned the starting position. And then we have a couple guys in the defensive category, not quite. You know that. If you go veteran lineup, you know, Jonathan Laurent started games. Obviously, Corey started games. Nigel's talented. I could go in a lot of different directions. I think CJ brings us some fiber, too, up front. He's a good passer. He's big, kind of knows how to play. So, you know, I'm not 100% sure, and I don't want to announce it yet because I still have 2 more weeks for them to earn those positions, and I really want them to do that. They got to learn. Nothing's given to us. Obviously, we play in the best league in America, and no one's given us anything. So earning it's a big part of it. In the next 2 weeks of practice, I'm trying to, really important for them to earn. I still want to know who our best defender is, and I want that to happen every night. So I know 2 starters, best defender, best rebounder. And right now, we definitely have a best rebounder.
Hey, Steve, Adam Zagoria. Based off that scrimmage the other day, it seems like offensive rebounding and rebounding in general is a strength. Shooting, maybe not so much. Is there anything you can do to work on shooting and improve it, and how can you use the size and on the boards to really as an advantage?
Yeah, I mean, you know, in practice I see them every day, so never mind, you know, scrimmages. I think we have some good guys that can shoot the ball. I always say this, you know, are you a bad shooter or are you a good shooter taking bad shots? So I think part of our problem is we have some good shooters taking shots that they can't make. So that leads to, you know, bad shooting nights. So we're learning more in film. I really think Issa, one of our freshmen, could really shoot the ball. And if you saw him in the first scrimmage, you'd say he's the best shooter in the gym. So, you know, Candido say can shoot the ball. I think very important. But I want to make one of our staples here, we rebound on both ends of the floor. And we're learning that. We certainly miss enough shots to be a really good rebounding team too. So we have to continue to get them to take better shots and learn their roles. And I'm figuring the guys out too. It's not you just get here and what are guys' strengths, what are guys' weaknesses, then when the lights come on, are they the same player and stuff. So I'm figuring it out, and part of my job this year is figure out a way to win and the different lineups that we could use. We can go big this year, we can go small, we can go quick, we can go experience for the most part or inexperience. So we got a lot of different ways to got to figure out what fits best, and you know, but that area is certainly one of concern. We weren't a good shooting team last year. So, like, that just doesn't change. We brought in some recruits. I think some of the younger kids can shoot the ball. Now they got to learn how to shoot in this league that we're playing in. So we got a lot of obstacles there.
Steve Edelson, Gannett, New Jersey. You've mentioned best league in the country a few times. What would you consider a successful year for this team, year one? You know,
I've thought a lot about that, and you know, people give you the term like, you know, I don't really think in terms of, like, I'm thinking about the first game of the season on the 11th. So I'm one game at a time with this group right now. I want us to overachieve. I want people to be proud of the way we play. Like, I want us to play together. You know, we have 3 things up in our locker room. You know, I want great work ethic, which we're learning how to do. Not great work ethic when I first got here. I don't know if they really knew how to work. So work ethic, a big part of it. And then I want to be great teammates. Like, I want guys rooting for each other on the court, off the court. I want in practice. And so we're starting like with some real basic stuff. And what is my win total? I don't know yet what this team is capable of. We got some pieces. We got some unique pieces. If I can get them to really play hard and really embrace that defensive end of the floor, we could be really interesting basketball team. But we're missing some pieces too. And leadership, growing in that and growing in their work ethic, growing and being great teammates. And then my number one thing is you got to have a great attitude. Like, you got to approach things the right way. You got to come to practice with the right attitude. And we're really working on those. As we continue to grow as a program, I won't mention those, because if you don't have a great attitude, you're not going to be in this program. If you don't have a great work ethic, you know. So we're really starting with some of those cores. And I believe they're buying into it. They really are. They're really buying into it.
Steve Pikiell, NJ.com. Just piggybacking off what you said just there, I think the perception is based on the record last year that the talent isn't there, but it does seem like, as an outsider looking at the roster, that there are actually several good pieces in place. How would you assess a role?
Well, I will tell you, the first thing is that they're healthy. You know, because in fairness to last year, I didn't see a practice plan with a healthy roster ever. So we now have, you know, 14 guys that are healthy and ready to practice today. And, you know, like Shaq Dorson has been doing a real good job. He's back from his foot injury. He's athletic. He's lost 52 pounds. You know, like, you'll see a bouncier Shaq today, and you'll see, and I think he could be, got to manage his, you know, his injuries still throughout the season, but he's, you know, gotten better. I think you'll see DeSean's gotten better. He's in great shape. I think you'll see Corey's body has changed. Those guys, so I think the improvement of those guys, and then the upgrade, you know, with the players in our roster. You'll like CJ, the big fella from Wilmington. You'll like Candido say he's got a little, you know, perimeter 4-man, and he can go 5. He blocks shots. Matt Bullock is working hard to get in great shape. Issa can really shoot the ball. Eugene got a good motor and toughness. So some of our 5 newcomers bring some pieces that we didn't quite have, you know, in the past. But you know, the healthy part, you know, so important to that moving forward here. And we're doing a real good job. We have a trainer, Rich, who takes great pride in guys being on the floor and getting their treatments and doing those things. And Dave Van Dyke, our strength and conditioning coach, has brought like a little edge to us, you know, body-wise. So, you know, real pleased with those 2 upgrades in the program.
Steve, Sam Hellman from Scarlet Report. How have you seen your guards embrace the changes that you're trying to make defensively, more of an emphasis? You
know, I mean, I talk to those guys all the time. I think where you'll see the biggest improvements, like Corey could be a really, really good defender, and so can Nigel. You know, we really need to do a great job in that area. You know, our backcourt has to be able to guard people. They're athletic. You know, we got a little bit of a blend. Our guards are pretty athletic, and our bigs are a little less athletic, more bangers, you know, so it's kind of a contrasting blend between your front court and your back court. So we've got to figure out a way to win with that. But within all that is our guards have to be able to defend, and they got as good a lateral quickness as two guards can have. And Mike Williams has that kind of lateral quickness too, where he could be a real great defender. Haven't quite embraced it the way they need to. Like you really need to, I want to play defense. Like we don't have that mentality yet. We're going to get there, though. We're going to get there, though. It doesn't change overnight, because if you don't think about defense, and, you know, for the last few years, I don't know how much they've thought of it. I watched tapes of them in high school. I don't think they played it at all. And you don't have to in high school sometimes. And now we think about it on every pass. So it's very different in how we, you know, kind of are attacking it for our guards. So a whole new world for them. Whole new world.
Hi, Tara Sullivan from the Bergen Record. I'm just curious if you can describe if mood is the right word, from when you took the job, and kind of how, if you felt the mood change of the program, and if it's important before the grind of the season, when sometimes things get difficult, you know, to try to capitalize on maybe if there's optimism or that kind of thing.
No doubt. I mean, you know, especially with my roster, the mood was, you know, when you first take over a job, there's a lot of uncertainty, and just think about our players. There's people are, you need to go, you need to leave, you need, you know, the world I live in is transfer city, USA. Everyone wants to go to the next place. You know, so you have a lot of that at first. I will tell you, the mood at Rutgers, though, first of all, it's unbelievable university. From everybody that I've met in 6 months, I've worked at Yale University, I've worked at George Washington, I've worked at UConn, some really good places. I mean, people here at Rutgers this place is awesome. And I'm really excited about the people here and the vision that they have. I mean, we have a Hall of Fame coach that you're going to watch on the women's side, but we have a Hall of Fame. Like, our athletic director is great. I've worked for a lot of athletic directors. He's got a great vision. I always say, in order to have a good program, you got to have a game plan. And he's got a great game plan for us, as evidenced by, you know, today. So I think the mood that I've been a part of has been, you know, enthusiastic, people willing to help. There's good people here. We have good pieces in our basketball program if we can keep them healthy and get them to improve and buy into what I want to do. And I think the mood has been great. I you know, was able to, a good game plan, recruit the players I have. I think they've bought in. I think you'll see that today. Hire a great staff. It was a great game plan. I got great guys that are on staff. They're not just great coaches, they're good people. So our guys are surrounded by that. We have a strength and conditioning coach that's taking care of their needs. I think this was the most poorly conditioned group I've ever been around when I took the job. So that was the first thing I said. These guys are in awful shape for college athletes. And so we've attacked that, and we've gotten better in that area. So there were a lot of different things. So I think that's made the mood, you know, better too for our players. But I think the mood's been great this morning. I'm not always in a great mood, especially after I watch our practice tapes, but I bounce back quickly, and I know the obstacles that are ahead for this team.
Steve, Rich Fisher with the Associated Press. How important was it when you took over to lock up Issa? And going what you've seen from him so far, what are you hoping for him for this season?
You know what? I think was really important, you know, just to lock up a few guys. I mean, Candido Say was really the first guy, and thrilled about him. He's a great kid. He speaks 4 languages. He's a shot blocker, which we don't have. He can shoot the ball from the front court, which is another issue that we had in the past. He can really shoot the ball, as you'll see today. And he's the kind of kid I want. He's in the gym all the time, and he's a worker. And then soon after was, you know, Issa is another worker who can shoot the ball. And if you've seen our stats the last couple of years, you know that's been an area of concern here for us. He's 6'9", he's high energy, he's in the gym all the time. He's helped build a little bit of in the gym culture. And then we got a kid from Canada at the end there, Eugene. And Eugene is another guy in the gym kind of guy. He's 6'6", he's about 225, and he's tough. And we need to add to our toughness category too with our roster. And then we had a local kid, Matt Bullock, who's another kid who's tough and knows how to play and can shoot the ball. So we continue to add pieces. And then CJ at the end, our 5th-year senior, is another nice piece of the puzzle. He's 7'1", he's huge. He's got good hands, and he's a little bit of a leader and a voice. So for a guy who's only been here a month, he's kind of taken over a little bit of a leadership role. So I think all those newcomers have added to that, Issa being one of them. Anytime you get a 6'9" guy that can really shoot the ball, you know, it just brings a different dimension. But what I love most about him, he's in the gym. He's an in-the-gym guy. If you come to the rack at any course in time, you know, during the course of the weekend or during the course of late at night after classes are done, you'll probably see him in the gym. So that's an important part of what I want to build and how I want to build it around guys that are in the gym.
Jerry Carino from Gannett, New Jersey again. Following up on DeSean, who you mentioned, just on how far he's come. When we saw him last year, he was hurt and he was suspended. How far has he evolved since you first met him when you took over the program?
I mean, I couldn't be more proud in 5-6 months of how far he's come in every category. First, he got healthy. Second, he's in shape. You know, those were the first two, you know, huge hurdles. And now all of a sudden he's healthy, in shape, and he's got leadership qualities. And he does what I love the most. He rebounds. He's got great hands around the basket. He's long. He's about 6'6", but he's got long arms, so he's able to crafty around the rim. But what I like most about him, he's embraced it the most. He's embraced the challenge. He's embraced the defense. He's embraced the grind of what we're trying to do in practice and the tough practices as much as any of them. And he's going to have a really good year. So I'm really excited about him.
Coach Aaron Brightman, question about the emphasis on defense and rebounding. With the size you have down low and the athletes on the wing, how much are you emphasizing pushing on the break, you know, out of transition as opposed to, especially with shooting possibly being an issue in the half court?
You know what, I'm really, as everyone would be, I'm really emphasizing that first 10 seconds of the shot clock are for the players. So I tell them that every day. Those are their 10. Okay, if they want to walk the ball up the floor, then the next 20 are mine. So, you know, it's up to them. Now, it's easy to say you want to run, and then, you know, it's harder to do that. Okay, so understand every day I teach on film, I just, like, stop the film and say, like, you're jogging, you're jogging, you're jogging. Now, you guys all sit in a room, and this is the great thing with recruits and players. I want to run. What's your style? I want to run. I want to run. Everyone wants to run. Oh, okay. All right. You guys all want to run. Do you really want to run? And here's the film showing you that you had no interest in running on that possession. So now the clock is mine. So the first 10 seconds are theirs, and we have athletic guards. So really, if they want to run, you'll never see me on the court saying, slow down, unless it's end of the game, shot, you know, situation like that. So, you know, trying to get through to them how hard it is to run for a big guy, chin to the rim, and to do those kind of things. So I really want to run. First 10 seconds are theirs, but after that, it's mine. So they have that choice, and when they watch film every day, they realize, okay, you decided not to run. Issa, you didn't get up on the wing. Mike, you jogging. You know, Corey, you're dribbling, you know, with your head down, you know, that kind of thing. So, you know, I love that part of it, you know, because I'm always going to be the coach. I played at UConn. We ran and we pressed. That's all I know. It's what I want to do with this group. But it is a lot easier to say that than to do it. And you know, hopefully you'll see a little bit today. We can get up and down the floor, but you got to do it consistently. You got to do it all the time. And, you know, part of that's conditioning, and part of that's getting our big guys to get up and down the floor too. So, you know, still work in progress with that, but that's where I want to evolve to. So I appreciate that, and thank you for coming. I really appreciate it. No, it's it. Wesleyan is a great university. Another place I worked in, Central Connecticut State University too. I worked there too. So some good universities I didn't give a shout out to.